And 3, 2, 1. Boom. And we're back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. Socratic Dialogue. We hit up Fan Expo. I always think it's like Comic-Con. You know, I kept saying that. I remember I was like, oh, we're going to Comic-Con. But it's like, no.
Well, for the longest time, we did think about it like that, though, right?
Yeah, I thought it was basically the same thing. I guess it's like Toronto's version of Comic-Con.
Well,
Toronto have Comic-Con?
They do, actually. That's the thing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How come we never been to that?
I don't know. It wasn't. It only started like kind of recently, I believe.
Comic-Con?
Or at least Toronto Comic-Con.
Okay,
at least
okay.
When I heard it, I only heard it like a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? They, like with Toronto International Film Festival and stuff, and like Fan Expo and like Anime North, there's like a lot of like art conventions here, eh?
Oh yeah.
I never really noticed that before, because I was at RBC,
Yeah.
Canadian Bank, if you're not from Canada, and there was like these ads playing for TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, and I was like, oh right, we do that here. We've never done that though. You and I have never actually gone to a TIFF though, but we've gone to like the documentary.
I have
one.
always wanted to go.
But like, I kind of feel like what is that about? You just buy tickets and you watch like movies in advance of like other things.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, these are like like selected. Generally, I do end up watching them, but it's just like just coming out later.
Like, you gotcha. Yeah. So they're like for independence and stuff, but
not necessarily.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
yeah, mostly the ones they pick, yes. But some of them, it helps them get critically acclaimed. And then
no way. Okay, so there's like big box office movies.
Well, it
TIFF
might
as well.
it might help end up getting there. Yeah, like
Right.
I think
I see.
like Slumdog Millionaire was
A TIFF movie, and then
was in TIFF.
Oh, okay.
It's like Sundance, right? Film festivals. It's just that, like.
I'm not really big into.
So it's just like
festivals like
them, mainly independents. But if you're like, it could help like make it bigger.
Like get more attention.
Get more
towards
attention.
It. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what we want. That's not what we went to. We went to.
No, we did not. I don't know if we transitioned to that.
But yeah, we would like to go to like a Comic-Con in California. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, until we can muster that up, Fan Expo is where it's at. This is like our third time going.
I think mine.
Third time, definitely third.
I mean, overall, probably my fourth, I think. But there was like a big gap in between where I didn't go for many years.
Like, what made us even want to go in the first place?
Just.
I'm assuming it was
general.
you. Like, I'm not really into this. Like I'm not really like hip to events that are happening.
When I first went, it was just like a version of a Comic-Con that I wanted to check out.
Yeah.
Like artists.
We went with Sid.
Did we?
Yeah, I made like 2 Fan Expo videos. I didn't make one this time because I was like, it's the same thing. Like, it's gonna be the same video over and over.
Right.
But Anime North was pretty cool. I wish we went to that one.
Yeah.
But that one like snuck up on us and it already passed, so we couldn't go to it. But yeah, you wanted to go to this Fan Expo one.
Yeah.
I think the biggest, like the primary selling point for me for going to Fan Expo is like getting art.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like visiting the, like we don't even really go for like the interviews. We always go to like the Sunday one. Just get the cheap ticket and then we go in and then we like see all the vendors and stuff and just buy stuff from them.
Yeah, that's mainly. Yeah,
we played video games last time, but not this time. We watched the esports. That was kind of cool.
Right. So, like, mainly, I didn't see anything in the video game thing that kind of intrigued me this time because there isn't anything
that's coming out. Yeah, specifically. Yeah, totally.
Me, so.
What was that Final Fantasy VII that guy was playing?
That's the
remastered.
Not remastered though. I think that's remake. I think
that's gonna be sick.
For the PS4.
Like, admittedly, when I saw like the trailer stuff, I was like, it's not that good. But when I was watching him play, I was like, this looks pretty cool. It looks very fluid.
Right.
You know, it's kind of look like a Devil May Cry thing to me, or like a God of War.
Right.
You know, that like hack and slash kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which might be kind of cool. But yeah, Fan Expo. pretty much like a, a nerd event. I'm surprised at like how many people actually go to this thing.
Right.
And like different types of people that you'd have never expected. Like there's some like OG looking dudes, there's some like straight up comic dudes.
Well,
There's like
the point is that there's just all kinds of people that do this that you don't even realize. Yeah.
For sure. And it's like such a like inclusivity builder, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the thing about like comics and like all this stuff is it's like because it's such a nerd culture, it's like you have to be like comfortable in who you are. Like you're not gonna see like a gangster and be like, yo, I love comics, bro. You know what I mean? Like or like a jock, like I love comics.
Right.
But like going to these things, it's very like inclusive, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm fascinated by these like little subcultures, just like Anime North, you know.
But I feel like some people are even more into it than I guess me. Like,
oh yeah, we didn't even dress up.
Like some of the
that's super intense.
Oh, that's the other thing too, right? Yeah, cosplaying.
Yeah,
but like
oh yeah, it's like Halloween.
Like, eavesdropping on people's conversations, like when you're walking through, it's like they're talking about stuff like more like they're way more into it than me. Like it's cool though. It's just like I just know the basics in general.
Right, for sure, yeah.
Or maybe more about the video
like,
games, but
casual
like,
fans.
Yeah.
Versus like hardcore. These people are like hardcore fans. But I don't know. Like, I wonder what the appeal is of like dressing up as your favorite character. Is it like it's like Halloween? I get to pretend to be this person, or like some people get acclaim, right? Because like other people get to like take photos of them. So I guess that's kind of cool. Like you get a little bit of like
right.
Like a little bit of like semi-fame by going to these things.
A lot of times they make their own, right? So some of them make a living on that too.
Well, but it's surprising because there's no like competition or anything, you know. They're just doing it solely out of like.
But there are
fun.
There are
at Fan Expo.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I believe they do have like those. Like a
best costume
talent show or
really
fashion show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they do have those.
Oh, maybe it's on the days that we don't go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But they do have that.
What well, I guess our favorite parts were like the individual artists. I think it'd be like cooler if there were like there was an event just for artists. So if somebody out there is listening and you guys know that there is like a local event for artists, that would be really cool. That would probably be much better.
Right.
Than like, because like the comic book stuff was cool, but we spent like most of our time in like Artist Alley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we didn't care. Like the Smallville people were there, but it's like meh.
Well, I'm not really into the meeting the celebrities, but that's also there for those people that want to do that, right?
Yeah, true.
Because that's also like a lot of money.
Yeah, because you have to like pay for the autograph and pay for the meet and greet. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you feel like it's like because now we've gone 2 years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's kind of the same thing over and over? Like a lot of the artists were selling the same stuff. I was pretty stoked because I was like,
right,
hey, I got a second chance at buying it, as opposed to like last year.
Yeah.
But like it almost feels like Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? It's like always the same. Like the main area was the same as last year. Like everything felt the same.
Right.
You know, minus like last year was a Dragon Ball Z exhibit, so that was kind of cool.
Oh right. Yeah.
There was no like exhibit for this.
Well, they had the
esports is like
the esports thing.
Yeah. I'm surprised at the esports. Like it's definitely going to become like a future thing with those like kids being like the celebrities and everyone cheering for them. I'm like, wow, this is like, it's weird when you see like it on screen and you're like, wow, it looks so awesome, but then you see them in real life and you're like, oh, it's just a kid walking on stage.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the camera angles are like everything.
But I think those are just like you can sign up and be like have a team.
Oh, it's not like
I don't
weren't like pros?
I don't think they were pros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just like like you could have probably signed up for that if you were.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were saying about like consoles changing this year? Potentially?
Next year, I believe. Yeah. Like, so the types of games they had, I think will be more interesting to see next year if the if the release for the new consoles are next year. That's what it was that I'm more intrigued about. Like also, like the games that will be coming out, and they give you those demos. So I believe next year will be the new consoles, and possibly they might have those new consoles at the next year's Fan Expo. Yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing they had when we went a few years ago, right? They had the Xbox Ones and the PS4s. That was before they were released, right?
Oh no way! Oh okay, yeah. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So, like, I don't know. Do you think something's gonna like overtake this in the future? Like, do you think it's still gonna be a viable like thing? Like, you think people are gonna still?
I think so. I mean, I don't know the
dying thing.
I don't know the numbers like as to like how much is growing, but it seems like that it is growing. There's always something new going on. They're adding in.
True.
Plus, I mean, there's a lot of those kinds of conventions now, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty interesting because like Metro Toronto Convention Center, right? Like there's been so many different conventions that I've been to at that place, like the health food convention and like yoga convention, and it's like it's so weird to think that we have these like subset cultures within our larger society that like run parallel to everything. We don't even like we don't even know things. You know what I mean? Like I bet you a lot of those people you'd have never known that they were like comic book heads.
Yeah, you know probably not. Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody was like petitioning for Spider-Man out there.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot more people. I mean, it's a variety of things people like, right? It's not just Spider-Man, right? There's a lot of anime stuff. There's a lot of.
Yeah, which is surprising that there were anime stuff in there.
Oh, I think it's just. I think Fan Expo is just a culmination of all of them in a sense.
Like all fans.
Yeah.
Right. What did you like better? Did you like Fan Expo or Anime North?
Anime North is very particular to just having anime, right?
Yeah, true.
So there are positives and negatives to that. For me, I'm not as like fluent with anime in a sense, so I probably would have got lost. Like I like it; it's cool. It's just it's not like Fan Expo fits more my style. I would say. I think.
But we didn't even check out any like the Wolverine, Superman stuff like that. Like
no, but I was as we were looking around for art stuff. That's what I was also looking for, and there were some that kind of stuck out.
Right.
Right. Some of the Deadpool ones. There was a Spawn one.
But we didn't really get any of those. We got like the Halo and the Cowboy Bebop one.
Yeah. But that's still. Would you get Halo in Anime North?
Yeah, it's true. No, but what I find weird is it's like a giant flea market or something, you know?
No, it is. Yeah. Well, it's also like especially. I think it's very very huge for those independent artists. Like. Oh
yeah, definitely. Yeah, right? So for sure. They make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's where it's mainly where it succeeds. Is it kind of brings all of these guys together and kind of you get to see the different styles of art and like whatever appeals to you is what you want to buy, right?
Right.
So instead of like, it's also like it's you can't find everything if you just search online. Sometimes you just got to be there physically.
That's true. Actually, yeah, because like you get some like treasures when you go to those things. I think it's really interesting how different cultures around the world and at different points in time they always had like markets like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like different vendors selling different things and
right.
like sure we like prop it up as like being like a convention and stuff, but like at the end of the day it's like really we're still buying and selling goods at that thing. Yeah. It was more so like a market than it was like an actual like celebration of comics. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean it's all part of it, right?
Like
it's celebrating the art. It's celebrating the artists. It's celebrating that whole. It's everything. Of course, money is involved everywhere, right?
True, but it's not like a TIFF, right? Like a TIFF is like you're just completely celebrating the art. Like you're not like hawking goods. They're not selling T-shirts there. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I wonder how many of those like artists are even into comics. You know, maybe they just like bought the booth because like, oh, this would be a great place to like sell my art.
Yeah. I mean, you could see like I don't think some of those jewelry ones. I don't think they're as
Oh, true.
much
Yeah, those
into
jewelry
it.
ones. Yeah, that's so weird. Do you know how much a table costs at these things?
It ranges on how big the table is.
Okay.
It could range. I think the prices are up though, but normally about a few hundred each. Few hundred.
Few hundred. Wow, you got to sell a lot of product then.
I think so. Yeah, that's why a lot of them, a lot of the independent ones, they split it, right? So
Split the two. Yeah.
one side is theirs, one side. Because I had a friend that was used to sell a lot of stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But you know, like, you can't, like, it's really unique what you can find at these things.
That's the thing, yeah.
You know, like about all the stickers and like that guy that I really like, that 1% Talent designer.
Yeah.
Shout out 1% Talent. I always buy, like, I saw like on social media he was at this like Danforth festival, so I went down, and like he's always at like Fan Expo, so I always like visit his booth.
Right.
But like he doesn't have a storefront, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of these artists, like looking at, like listening to like musicians and stuff, there's like a lot of bureaucracy and like levels and like obstacles and hoops you have to go through to become like famous or like in a gallery and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like even have your own storefront. You have to understand how to like run businesses, right? So like I do see the value in like helping smaller artists with these events. It'd be really cool to like put one of these things together just for like artists, you know? I'm sure there's got to be one out there, like an artist driven.
There is one in, I think, I forgot what the building is called, but that's a bit of a free one actually.
Oh, no way. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's one.
Yeah.
Is it like every year?
I believe it's every year. It is a different styles of art, so it's just not necessarily comic related or game related. So, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
but
there could also be some weird art there, you know what I mean? Like,
there is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
But it's not as big. I think it's more if you go for specific genre like Anime North and stuff. That's where you'll find more specific things that you want, right? Like you won't like most of the things that if we go to that one.
Yeah.
Than if we go to like Fan Expo, maybe Toronto Comic Con next time, or yeah, the Anime North. Yeah.
Do you think there's like an age limit to these things? You know what I mean? Like, is it kind of weird seeing like old people?
No, I don't think so. I think that's why it's. I mean, majority of the people there are older people.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
I guess. Yeah.
Of course, kids do go there, but it's a lot of these are in their I guess mid 20s to 30, maybe 42, right? Like, but there are of course some that are older than that, but I don't see anything. It's just art. It's just
right. Yeah.
You know.
I guess at the same time, if you look at like games like Pokemon Go and like how
I was gonna bring
adults,
that up.
yeah, because like whenever we run raids and stuff, it's like you'll get like a 12-year-old kid and then like a 60-year-old man, you know,
yeah.
And like that is, like, I think that's like some like true inclusivity at that point,
Right.
you know, like when you, like there's like different, so like you can look at inclusivity through like like, you know, oh, we have a belief system that we want to hold, like it's very like us versus you mentality,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Sort of like you know, like I'm just trying to figure out how to like word this politely. Like you know, like there's different movements out there, right, that like support a belief system,
Yeah.
you know, but I feel like, and then they preach inclusivity, you know, but when you look at it, it's still like bringing about an us versus them mentality, because you're like you're holding to your ideals, right? But like when it's like this kind of thing, there's no ideals. It's just like we just enjoy something. So if you do something out of entertainment purposes,
Right.
then I feel like it's even more inclusive. You know, because you're brought together with these random people through like enjoyment versus like pushing an agenda.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen such inclusivity in like anywhere since like these kinds of things. but these things are very nerdy, you know. Yeah.
Right.
I've never been like yo, you don't like Sasuke, bro? I like Itachi. I hate you. You know, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, you into Itachi, I'm into Sasuke.
Right.
You know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. There's no like team sports going on.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these. Also, a lot of them, it's a place also to meet these independent artists. Like sometimes, you do end up finding them online, but then it's like you also kind of want to meet them too, right?
True. Yeah.
And,
yeah, that's true.
And a lot of them fall like they are into the same style of art, and then they can learn. They do end up learning from each other. Like, what are the tricks you used, or like.
Oh, it's like
so like that's also what's happening.
Right.
It's like a little community in a sense.
It's like a convention. Like it's like lawyers have conventions, like marketers have conventions. It's like an artist convention. So
yeah.
Like tattooing conventions.
Right.
You know.
There's all sorts of things.
Yeah. Do you think it's like, it's almost like too bad that in smaller areas that you don't get to have these kinds of like things, you know, like if you live in like a small town, or like in a country where it's like not that open, or like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we're so free to practice and like indulge in these things,
right,
in like the first world, and like especially in Canada too. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's like a negative side to this.
What do you mean? Negative to
like because you know, we just said the positives, but like is there like a negative side to it? It's almost like hinting at the fact that we have like nothing else except for the superficial to bond over. I don't know.
But that happens with anything, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Some people feel this place of the world is very lonely, right?
So you think that that's why, like,
I think that
we're so into our conventions?
Well, I think that's why we do these things. Of course, yeah. It's maybe better, generally, for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
Better in the health of the community, I guess.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I guess. Or like, is it separating us as like a society? Like,
I don't think it's separating us. It's just you don't end up meeting always the same people, right?
Right.
Because they're into the same thing. So.
But I just find that like it's almost like it's cool to me that these conventions exist, but at the same time it's also kind of weird because it's like we need to like seclude ourselves into these like conventions alone, you know.
But everyone's welcome. It's not like it's actually,
I guess, or maybe it's just like the whole purpose of it is like commerce based, so it's not really about like excluding or like keeping it inclusive. It's just like we need to sell tickets. Yeah.
Like, I like this year that they gave us badges versus last year, was it, that had wristbands? I hated those ones.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you had to like scan your badge, and then like that's how you got into each event and stuff.
I mean, I like the badge way.
Yeah, true. It seems like more official. And what's interesting is as you walk downtown, like you saw everyone with those badges too. You're like, oh snap, they were all just at Van Expo as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's funny for me to see the same person that's been there since when I first went there.
Oh, what's his name?
Still selling his comics.
Afro Man or Black Afro? What was his name?
Black Bastard.
Black Bastard. Yeah. See, that's so weird to me. It's like,
yeah, that is. But you can only find it there, like, or his website, I guess. But it's like his stuff will not be sold in
like comic book shops.
Yeah,
for sure.
It won't be. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it funny that he's still, like, he was still there.
Maybe that's like his only time of the year that he sells. I mean,
or it's also like a place to meet up too, right? Because when I went last time, when I saw him again, I was like, I see a lot of people like talking to him and stuff like that. So it's like, it's interesting that way. I did talk to him for a bit too, because I was like, I remembered him from when I first went there and I bought that
like
stuff.
when you were like super young.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or like high school, I think it was.
So like, I wonder what their day jobs are like, you know, when they're
Yeah,
not doing
I don't-
this, like
that's true.
364 days a year.
Right.
Yeah, because you never know, right? Like you see these people in like these like closed off circumstances, and you think like, oh, that's their full time job.
Right,
but like
right.
most often it's like not. You know, it's more of like it's very rare to have, like, especially as an artist. Like I guess like that's where the whole idea of starving artist comes from. But like
Right.
it's very rare for like an artist to solely do what it is they're doing as a full time job. You know.
Oh yeah.
Unless you just like luck out on it. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the independent artists have jobs, right?
Yeah, for sure. Or like different like, so like I'm really into like digital design and stuff, and like
Yeah.
I have a day job doing digital design, you know, so it's like it's like in that you're still practicing your art, but
Right.
it's like not the, like, you know what I mean, you're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
making
yeah.
money off of side, or like tangentially using your skill through different means.
Right.
So I wonder what all these other like artists do, you know, as their like day job. Like one's an architect, you know what I mean? That'd be kind of crazy.
I mean, it's kind of true though, actually.
Like what? What's
Like
true?
they like the friend that I had. She's an engineer, and
Oh, right,
she
yeah.
does the art thing too.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So
That's
it's,
a
like,
great
totally
example.
different.
Yeah, but they have like a following and stuff, and
Yeah.
then like people, it's almost like a secret power or something.
I remember
you know?
when I was there, they would ask her like, "Oh, what did you study art and things like that?" And she's like, "No, she's studying engineering. It's totally different than
Yeah, so
than
yeah,
what
so
you
there you
think."
go. Yeah.
She didn't like professionally do this. She just ended up having a talent for it.
Right, yeah.
So
And like, you know, like being famous and stuff, that's really just like extension of, like, it's sort of like what you're, like the notoriety you get at these booths, like, oh, I like your work and I know you. Just like imagine like 1,000 people saying that to you, you know.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the exact same thing, just on like a macro scale.
yeah.
So it's interesting
Right.
that you have these like semi-famous people,
Mm-hmm.
not like actually famous, but like within
Right,
their
right.
chosen field they're famous, you know.
Right,
So
right.
that's pretty
But they
fascinating,
actually
too. niche fame.
no, that's true though. But she like a lot of them go to different ones around the globe in a sense,
Oh, that's pretty
taking their
sick.
art, yeah, and they kind of like build up more of a base,
Like a following.
yeah, following,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
yeah.
I think that's what it is, you know. I've been like watching a lot of these people that made it,
Mm-hmm.
like doing their art, like musicians and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it was like a 10-year overnight success. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we all just hear about you now, but like let's say your friend like becomes super famous as like an artist, and then it's like, oh wow, you came to nowhere. It's like, no, I've been doing these small conventions for like 10 years.
Well, she has been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, so there you go.
So like
exactly.
like when I had gone those years that I didn't know her, but then I probably passed by her booth many times.
Right.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. I find that weird too.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's always cool to go, especially the artist alley or the independent artist alley, whatever. That's like, it's always cool to see the different styles and whatever like kind of sticks out to you.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It actually, if you think about that even further, that's kind of weird how we have these like boxes that we place people into. So it's like knowing this person is an engineer, and then like going to this convention being like, oh wow, you're like semi-famous, like people know who you are. It's like, it's interesting that we place people in these boxes of perception. You know, we know so little about, like, even though we spend like 8 hours a day with our like coworkers,
Yeah.
we don't actually know things about them.
No.
You know, and I find that like very weird but fascinating at the same time. You know,
Well, some people do make it more than just that, right?
but what do you mean?
Like more than just being coworkers. Some people do
Yeah, I don't
end up
know.
making. No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying there are people that do that, right?
No, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like only after leaving my first workplace, that's when I started promoting all the other stuff, like, oh, hey, Young Yoda, like, a podcast, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, oh, I'm already gone, you know. But
Right.
like, and then they were like mind blown. They're like, what? You were just this guy doing designs over here, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I find like weird, like as a, like it's almost like living in this apartment, you know, you live next to like 500 people, but you don't know anything about them. You know, it's
Right, right.
it's almost like collective isolation. But I mean, even at these events and stuff, it's not like I'd like want to be friends with any of them. I just appreciate their art.
Right.
You know, or the people that like have similar interests in you. Like, I don't know, something weird about it. Like the convention.
I think it's just cool in general, just because
it's cool for commerce. I think it's cool for commerce.
Yeah.
But like anything further than that's it's kind of weird to me.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I always look at it like, oh, well, this year there was none, but like it's always mainly about the games for me, so to try them out before they're out. So.
Yeah. So you go there with a purpose, but like I guess maybe I'm like looking at the people that dress up in those like, you know, in those like cosplays to feel like inclusive.
Well, some people are actually like do make a living off that, right?
Their cosplayness.
Yeah.
No, but like, all right, so like
there are some, I don't know, how other people are doing it for. Why?
No.
I know what you mean. I think.
Like if you know when you see like the ultra weirdos at these conventions and you're just like, wow, this is the one day you can like let your freak flag fly.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're kind of like, what?
Right.
That I think that's what like makes me feel a little weird about it. Just like you would never do this on a regular day. Okay. It's sort of like Halloween.
Right.
You know, you know this like like Halloween like when like girls have like they've been known, you know, like they just use an excuse on that day. I kind of felt that at Comic-Con too, Fan Expo too. There was a lot of like skimpy costumes, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" You know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I meant about the weirdness. Like,
right.
Like commercially, it's cool, but like the minds, like, because we're going into it as like, oh, it's like an event or something, right?
Yeah.
But like to think of it more than that, it's like. That's what I meant about like the subsets of like people who are like lonely. But it's cool nonetheless. I mean, it sounds very judgmental to say, but I just think it's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
overall, I mean, like it's still a good.
No, definitely, yeah.
Thing,
I'm like stoked we went.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, what do you think we'd go next year, or do you think we'll just?
Well, if the PS5 is next year, yeah.
True, definitely check that out. I'm looking forward to the Anime North.
Right, this time we won't forget.
Yeah, and if there is Toronto Comic Con.
Yeah, I think that's like during the winter time, so like generally.
The Comic Con.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
they probably already have the date set up.
So. Oh, okay. We'll just have to Google it and stuff.
Yeah.
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 All right. So,
cool. What?
Final. Would you?
What? Oh, the one thing I don't like about this is expensive food.
That's true. Yeah, but like I was saying, we gotta bring our own snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never.
Actually, a lot of them bring
bought
their own.
One time, and it was like $8 for
it's
like
not
one
even
hot
that
dog,
good.
and you're like, what the hell?
It's not even that good.
Yeah, it's just a commercial machine.
Yeah.
Right.
Food wise, yeah. I mean, generally, yes, everything.
If there's one thing you'd recommend checking out at Fan Expo for somebody who wants to go next year, what would it be?
Checking out?
Yeah. I'd say Artist Alley.
Yeah, Artist Alley. You want to go meet celebrities, you could do that too.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know, maybe does it have to be someone specific for me to do that?
But I don't know. I don't think so much money. Like I find that it's kind of a ripoff.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? No, I don't think I'll ever do that.
Yeah.
I was just like thinking about it. Like, who would I even like go and really want to see? Like, I don't think.
I think if they're charging money to go see them, I'd be like, nah, you're not worth it.
Because I just don't like view. Yeah, but like I don't even just. Because a lot of times it's like you view them a bit more like. I feel like it's a bit more godly-ish. Like, you know what I mean? Looking at them like that.
Oh, it's I forgot who it was. He's like, I never want to meet my idols because it'll just ruin it for me.
Yeah. But no, I just view them as actors just doing their job. That's all I view it as.
Yeah, totally. It's like you're doing a really good job at being an actor.
Yeah.
There's no like deification there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
those are like the negatives
Mm.
associated with it, like the weird,
Yeah.
the weird expression of yourself, like the costumes,
Mhm.
and then like the overpriced stuff, and like paying for autographs and like deification of like celebrities. See, there's negatives to it, you know, like that's what I was.
Yeah, but
I was,
in
like,
general, I
too.
think those are positives to the city.
Oh yeah, because it's like commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
It depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Because I just don't want to be like, oh my god, like Fan Expo's amazing, everyone's gotta go. Because I do see like the negatives to it as well, like, the weirdness, like how somebody looking out from the outside in can see it as being weird. I was like, yeah, totally get your point.
Yeah. I always want to meet those fundamentalist religious folks that are always outside of that, yelling.
Yeah, see, I'm not into that. That's weird.
No, I just find it fun. Like, this is all part of my entertainment. This is how I do it.
There was that. What's that place? Young and Dundas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Young and Dundas. There was like a whole Christian like play that was going on, and one dude that was like dressed like a demon. He like just stood there like watching them as if he was like the devil, and I was like, oh, it's straight trolling right now, bro.
Right. Actually, there's a lot of that happens there. There's someone I want to meet that does it there, but.
See, that's the thing. Could you imagine
across.
those people like going home in their like costumes, and people are like, what a weirdo.
Mhm. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like in a big city, like putting everyone together, just like you're creating problems.
I just found that I for me it's all part of my entertainment though. I because it's not nothing really, it doesn't really bother me. It's just he believes whatever he wants to believe, but it's just entertainment for me. I don't know how to
Right, but because you don't take it personally.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like when certain people feel like their belief systems are being challenged because they identify highly with their belief systems and they think that they're being challenged rather than their belief, you know, then it's like that's what I mean. It's like you have too many people with conflicting beliefs, you're gonna have like butting heads once in a while.
Oh yeah. But that's all part of what I like though.
Yeah. Well, but again, that's what I said. You're not taking it personally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which is like kind of.
But then it's like even
society.
I guess, but then even like it's funny to me to even see that people that do take it.
Seriously, yeah. Seriously. No, but totally, that's what I mean. It's like, it's sort of like, you know, when like a kid, like you have like a kid that's getting upset over a toy that they didn't get for Christmas, and you're like, bro, it's fine, you know. It's sort of like that's how I kind of feel about those people that take it too personally. It's like, dude, it's just a belief. Relax.
Right.
Like, they're not actually trying to physically harm you.
Right.
It's weird. it's a weird like introspection over society after going to Comic-Con. I thought it was like fascinating, but like simultaneously I was like, wow, what a weird culture we are.
But yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's cool. It's like, I loved coming away with art, but like, at the same time, it's like, what a weird culture we are.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of people that go to that thing, so of course you're gonna meet, you know, random weird people like that.
But I think I'd feel that way about anything, like any convention.
I guess
very
so.
Weird because it's like, wow, it's just a cluster of the exact same like-minded people. And then like the duality situation is like people who are walking by it, like who aren't into it.
See,
we're
exactly, but we're not like deep into it like that. Like
so we're able to float in and out. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's why we can kind of see that. But some people might need that. So.
But that's what I mean. It's like, what does that mean about you as a person that you need that so heavily? You know. But I guess we all need belief systems, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But it gets really tiring walking around that thing.
Yeah, physically.
Physically,
tiring.
though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. So next week, I don't know if we're gonna have a podcast because I'm going to New York.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah. So we might not have one, but it is coming out.
Is it?
Yeah, next week.
Is it?
Is it? It is. Oh snap! Yeah. So maybe that'll be our next podcast.
Next week it's coming out. So after you
6th.
come.
Yeah. So the Friday that I come back.
Huh?
I come back on the Monday and then the Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, we might watch that.
Okay, yeah.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I watched the first one in theaters, but I will watch this one.
Oh, you know, I loved the first one.
No, I liked the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'll. Hopefully, this one's just as good. Number 1 was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it's about pedophilia.
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
So the spider, the spider was like, the demon was like in the actual book. This is what I heard. Hearsay, total hearsay. But in the actual book, it's like it's not actually a demon. It's like their psychosis after being like molested as kids.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why the dad in the first movie was like, "Who's my little girl?"
I don't remember much of the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, freaky. It's not like an actual spider. It's like a an not a personification, but like an animation of a.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Weird, eh?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about like the dressing up thing. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah. Who does that? Whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Bother me. So.
Yeah, true. I'm just trying to get into like the mind state of like a person. Like I get it like Halloween, but when we were in Halloween, like I never took my costume seriously. I remember when Wob tied like tools to his head, and you know, what are you? I'm a tool belt. It was like a joke, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to like
right.
people who seriously took their costume like to the next level.
Maybe there's like a small group of people that's like, you know, oh, how did you do that kind of stitching, or I don't know.
Like they're seamstresses,
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
like
Yeah. It was like
they're costume artists.
in some way, yeah, because some of those things that they got to make are kind of not that easy to make, right?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. You worked on film or like for plays.
Right.
You know, it's like a side
you never know.
job. Yeah, true. I know. I'm over here like judging so hard. Anyways, so till next time, don't judge too heavily because you never know what somebody else is into.
Just enjoy life.
And if they're not into the same thing as you, just beat them up.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Till next time, we'll check out it. See you in a week.
Yeah.
Take it easy.